punch you in the throat. Herbert's the gout. He'll punch you in the throat.
Run it back, Ma.
Herbert's the gout. He'll punch you in the throat. Herbert's the gout. He'll punch you in the throat.
Would all of the VIP Super Chatters please come to the front stage? You know who you are. Mark Cleveland, the Silva Brothers, Austin, Double A, Terry Roberts, please report to the front stage. D2W Stu, your presence is required at the front stage. Unberger, I see you. Tony Turley, we see you lurking over there. Nolan Mendoza, Bender. If you want your name mentioned in this song, all you gotta do is drop a $14.99 super chat so Smitty can identify you and drop you in. Get your name in the intro song of every Tuesday, Thursday show.
It's a blue button.
Herbert's the gout. He'll punch you in the throat. Herbert's the gout. He'll punch you in the throat.
Run it back, Ma.
Herbert's the gout. He'll punch you in the throat. Herbert's the gout. He'll punch you in the throat.
Would all of the VIP Super Chatters please come to the front stage? You know who you are. Mark Cleveland, the Silva Brothers, Austin, Double A, Terry Roberts, please report to the front stage. D2W Stu, your presence is required at the front stage. Unberger, I see you. Tony Turley, we see you lurking over there. Nolan Mendoza, Bender. If you want your name mentioned in this song, all you gotta do is drop a $14.99 super chat so Smitty can identify you and drop you in. Get your name in the intro song of every Tuesday, Thursday show.
It's a blue button.
Herbert's the gout. He'll punch you in the throat. Herbert's the gout. He'll punch you in the throat.
Run it back, Ma.
Herbert's the gout. He'll punch you in the throat. Herbert's the gout. He'll punch you in the throat.
Would all of the VIP Super Chatters please come to the front stage? You know who you are. Mark Cleveland, the Silva Brothers, Austin, Double A.
What is going on, everybody? Oh boy. We're ready. We're doing it. We're doing it live. I'm Smitty. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show. And this is the live edition every single Tuesday and Thursday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern, I'm live doing my thing here in the studio. And I need all of your support, so punch the thumbs up as you walk in the door, wipe your feet. Let's hit the intro. Boom.
This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.
Top 5 running back. Smitty.
Take a lap.
Mess up there with the intro. I was dragging things around. Okay, welcome to the show. We're gonna do a little newsy poo for you. Drop a little bit of the current news out there in fantasy football land. What's up, DG3? What's up, Ball is Life? What's up, Miles? What's up, Crazy World? What's up, Kathy? What's going on, Nolan? What's up, Mark? What's up, Bap? What's going on, Bap? D2W, Corey, Steven, Lamar, Miles, Webb. Everybody, roll call. Roll call. You heard your names, those of you in the door league. Those of you in the door league right here. What's the door league, Smitty? The door league is when you super chat a 20 spot during the show, you get in on the door league. Not only do I write your name in permanent marker on the door right here, on this door, on my studio door, meaning when I walk out of my door every single day, or if I go to the bathroom, or to go grab a sody pop, and I open up the door and I see Nolan Mendoza, Kenny Powers, Badge, Zach, Hilkerson. I don't know, Miss Smitty wrote this one. This is the only one Miss Smitty wrote. It was Zach Hilkerson. And I see this one, this real nice, pretty writing. All these are my writing, just rough, rigid, everyone's names, and then I got this sweet little handwriting, cursive almost. Zach Hilkerson. Zach Hilkerson. That's Miss Smitty. She wrote that one for you, Zach. Chase, Todd, Aloha Rob, Spacula, Captain Spock, Tony Turley, Dom, Lombardo, Eric, Terry Roberts, Bender. I walk out every day. When I walk out, I see the name Bender and I say Bender in my head. I go, Bender. Bender. Kenny, D2W Stu, iSong, Terry Roberts again. Terry Roberts is all over the door. Andrew Silva. I'm sorry, Double A. I'm sorry if I missed some of you. $20 super. You get written on the door. More importantly, though, you're in the door league. You're in the door league. Boy, do I have news for you today about the door league. And we're going to go over that in a second. Let me go ahead and drop it on here. One of the little things that we're going to talk about right onto the screen here. Because boy, do I have a treat for you. This is what the winner is going to get in the door league. Let me drop it on screen here. This bad boy, where is it? Where is it? I've got it on here somewhere. Here it is. Look at this bad boy. Look at this bad boy right here. Unbelievable. This is what the winner of the door league is going to get. Right here. You ready? You ready? You better sit down. Whoops. Where is it? Where is it? Where's my other camera? Here we go. Door league right here. Winner of the door league is getting that bad boy right there. Let's see if we can resume last video. It's this right here. You drop a $20 super chat. I write your name in permanent marker on my studio door so that I see you every time I exit. And you're entered into the door league where you fight total points race, no matchups. Everybody fights for the jersey. And we're going to have potentially multiple leagues. I haven't quite figured it all out yet because we got to figure out how many people we have. More than likely, you will get one entry to fight for the jersey, but we'll have multiple leagues potentially for people that are on the door multiple times. So it'll be 40 people. The first 40 people on the door, or 30, whatever we have left. We have like 20-something spots left. We already have 20 or so entries. 25 maybe. So the next 15 to 20 people will get into the door league. Boom. Boom. And then we'll have another door league part 2, maybe auction style. First one will be, snake draft. But Grant's going to come on here and I'm going to potentially explain what the door league gets even crazier. There's twists and turns. The door league's going to be fantastic. Just wait. News and notes. We're getting to the news. J.K. Dobbins, The Athletic, is reporting that the Ravens coaches believe J.K. is capable of more and would like to get him more involved in the passing game. Great news. I've talked about J.K. Dobbins quite a bit. And let's erase this and do a little bit of J.K. Dobbins talk here. So J.K. Dobbins, here is rounds 1, 2, and 3. J.K. Dobbins has kind of been floating around, like I would say, this range all offseason long. He's gone at the bottom of 3. He's gone at the top of 3. He's climbed as high as like the middle of 2. So JK's been all over the map. I love when people try and tell me where JK's going that you don't know. You don't know. What's up, Mark Cleveland? What's up, Austin B? What's up, Austin? What's up, Brandon? Hit the thumbs up on your way in the door. I love when people tell me they know where J.K. Dobbins is going. Smitty, J.K. Dobbins isn't going there, Smitty. J.K. Dobbins is going here, Smitty. J.K. Dobbins is here, Smitty. No, he's here. No, he's here. He's all over. It depends on your league. It depends if your mom's drafting him here. It depends if your uncle's drafting him here. Bob from accounting's drafting him here. You and I are drafting him probably around here. J.K. Dobbins is all over the map. What I do know for certainty is that J.K. Dobbins, if you can get him anywhere in round 3, it's pretty much a win. It's a home run. Give you a little check mark there. J.K. Dobbins in round 3 is pretty much a home run, because when you break down your team build, and let's say you get 2 DK Metcalf type players with your first pick, your second pick, and your third pick. You take a DK, you take a Ridley, or let's say it's Jefferson, because Jefferson seems to be the guy that falls the furthest, and we can make this a little bit more realistic. So you can't even read that. JK, you're in the way. DK Metcalf, Justin Jefferson, no running back in the top 2 picks that you have, and then JK falls to you. Like, if you can get JK in round 3, home run. Home run. I also think that another great approach is Gibby and Jefferson. You can pull this off. Sometimes it's kind of like the reversal of that. That's a fantastic approach as well. 2 of my favorite kind of approaches right now from that perspective of you don't have like the number 1 and you're getting wide receiver, or you got to go early on Gibby because you're afraid of what running backs will be available. I really love the DK or the whatever wide receiver you like, Ridley or Hopkins or Diggs, whatever. Like, Diggs is probably my favorite wide receiver in these scenarios. Now let's put Diggs here. Diggs, Gibson. I love coming out of rounds 1 and 2 when you don't have a number 1 overall pick. Of course, I go McCaffrey and all the big dogs. I'm talking about people that don't get the luxury of having the 1.01 or the 1.02. Wipe your feet, says Mark. When you don't have the luxury of getting the 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and you have to go with Diggs as your first pick. I'm loving Diggs and Gibby. I feel like this is taking the power back from the people that get the 1.1, the 1.2. And then if Jefferson falls, good Lord. If Josh Allen is there, fantastic. Imagine walking away with that team right there. Unbelievable. And if you're just, Smitty, I'm not taking a quarterback. I've told you this over and over. I'm not doing it. That's fine. You know, insert. God, if you could get Lamb. Probably not going to happen. It's funny. When I say Lamb in the 4th round, you know what I get? I get about half of the people that say, Smitty, whoa, there's no way he's falling to the 4th round, you moron. And the other half of you, or maybe it's like a little less than half now, that we have not educated on this topic, but the other half, to about 30%, is like this. 4th round? What's so good about Lamb in the 4th round? He's the 3rd receiving option on the Cowboys, bro. And it's like I'm getting hit from both sides, and I'm the person telling me Lamb will not fall to the 4th round. I'm literally, while this person's yelling at me, calling me an absolute moron. You're so stupid, Smitty. Lamb's not falling to the 4th round, moron. While I'm being told in a DM about this, another person is DMing me at the same time saying, Smitty, why would I take Lamb in the 4th round? He's the 3rd option on the Cowboys. And I'm looking at this guy going, dude, I'm having a conversation right now with the guy you're saying doesn't exist, and you're trying to tell me I'm a moron. I have these conversations all day. If you are, no one could possibly, I'm not trying to complain, I have the best job in the whole wide world. Like, I have the best job in the world. My worst day is arguing with people about my predictions and whatever. Like, that's my, like, I can't complain. But it drives me mad to have these multiple conversations like this when someone's telling me this isn't happening while it's happening on the other side of the fence. Lamb can fall to round 4. It happens. Not always. Sometimes grandma knows what she's doing in your league. W Stu always dropping the super chats. You can't fix stupid Smitty. I'm not even with duct tape. Duct tape's pretty, I don't know, D2W Stu. Duct tape can pretty much, I'd almost say it could fix pretty much anything. But I appreciate you. Stu's on the board, on the door. And look at Webb. Webb wants in the door league, and he says, I want in the door league now. Please write my name as J-A-H Webb. No space between. Jeez, he's picky. Okay, we'll do it right now. Hold on. Let's go over to the door. I'm going to do it in red for you. J-A-H. I'm going to put you right here. J-A-H. Capital. Okay, capital W. No space. You want a photo of it? Here we go, Webb. Here we go, Webb. Here's Webb's photo right here. Here you go, Webby boy. Webby boy, I got you. There you go, pal. There you go. No space. There you go. And he says next to it on or the Zeke or Jordan logo. Oops. I'm sorry, bro. But I put you in a good spot because I show that part of the door a lot. So I appreciate it. I should have read the other part first. My name must stay among the elite. Well, you're right next to Tony Soprano and Barkley, bro. And Netflix. You can't get any more elite than that. It's actually a prime spot. There wasn't room next to Zeke. I'll try and squeeze. If you do another super chat later, I will squeeze you wherever you want. My fault on that. But you're good. You're good. And you're in the door league. DM me on IG, Webb. Do it right now. First time watching. I'm in 2 QB league. I'm doing wide receiver 0 start. I need a sleeper wide receiver. Okay. During fantasy court at the end of this, the last hour, ask me some questions about that, bro. And we'll dig into it. Back to J.K. Dobbins. Back to what I was saying. before Webb very politely interrupted with the $20 super chat, getting in on the door league. The door league is you drop a 20 spot, you get into a big, massive league where you can win this sucker right here. League. Door league is commencing, but it's going to be a crazy league. It's not your typical league. It's not your typical league. It's going to be absolutely insane and fun. Don't have ID. Email me. Email me, Webb. Okay. Email me right now, Webb. Right this second, so I can see it come through my email. Okay. Appreciate the super chat. J.K. Dobbins, back to what I was saying. You may not get Lamb in every draft, but this is possible. And if it's not Lamb, insert your favorite player. It's the process, not always the player. Go to sleeperu.com, J-Web. Sleeper, the letter U.com. At the bottom, scroll down on the bottom, click contact. Diggs, Gibby, Jefferson. Boom, boom. Love it. Diggs is one of my favorite. Diggs is one of my favorite top 12 picks. Gibby's one of my favorite 12 to, or about I'd say 13 to 18 overall picks, and J.K. Dobbins is one of my favorite 25 to 30 overall picks. I love those guys in 2021. All right, next up is going to be a little. Oh yeah, another one of our sleepers right here, Javonte Williams. Love me some Javonte in 2021. Javonte Williams is going to be, I think, a league winner in fantasy football, and it's going to be evident early on. There's a lot of talk coming out of Denver that Melvin Gordon missed OTAs. He's not happy. They're moving on essentially. Now, will they use Melvin Gordon? Yes, they're paying him. They will try and use him on the field and probably run him, I'd say, at least 50% out the gate in a best case scenario for us Javonte Williams fans. Like, Gordon's going to be used, but you never know. This could take a turn. Gordon could really sour. He could really sour the loyalty that Denver has to him at all if Javonte Williams comes in and Gordon's just not there mentally, not ready or prepared, and Javonte Williams takes everything, takes the bull by the horns and just looks like fire, which I think he's capable of looking like right out of the gate. I can't wait to see what this guy looks like on the field, and mark my words, this will be one of the biggest ADP climbers in fantasy football, and you saw it here over and over, beaten like a dead horse. Constantly. We let release the dragon out on this one. Constantly talking about it. All right, J Webb, let me check the email real quick. J Webb. Where's my music? All right, I'll keep checking J-Web. 1 second. What's up, expert? All right, I got to send this link to Grant. Goodness gracious. Grant, here I come. I'm iffy about Williams for this year. I'm not, Jeffrey. You can be iffy. Hold my beer, Jeffrey. I will go ahead and test this out for you. You can wait until next year, Jeffrey. I will go ahead and take care of it in 2021. Don't worry about it. I've got it. Grant, where are you? I got to send you this message here. Granty boy. Where's Grant? Grant. All right, Grant. I sent it to you. All right, Grant might not be joining us right away, but at some point Grant will join the show, and we're going to talk about the door league. Javonte Williams. There is a good shot. There are a couple reports, a couple beat writers, somebody from The Athletic, I forget who, but more than one person has said they think that Javonte Williams could start week 1. if he's not starting in name, he's getting a bunch of first team type workload. You know what I mean? Like he's getting a majority or a little bit over 50% to start off. But the thing is, Javonte Williams is going to look so much like Jonathan Taylor immediately. Like right when Javonte Williams hits the field, when he starts carrying the football, probably in preseason and in practice and camp, and everyone's going to be like, oh my God, he's so good, and that his ADP is going to climb. Right now, you can get a mark in redraft in the 5th round. And I don't think you reach any higher because you typically don't have to. So you don't want to set a trend or reach too early. You take him in the 5th round. Javonte Williams in redraft, round 5. Round 5. Top of round 5 is fine. Back of round 5 is better. But top of round 5, I do it. If I've got the top of the 5th round pick, Webb, I got you, bro. I got you. You're in the door league, baby. You're in the door league. But mark my words, Javonte Williams will be one of the biggest ADP risers in the coming weeks as people see him. They start to let go of the like Melvin Gordon's in the way. He's rookie. It's Denver. Like all these people are just, they don't understand. They're just like, no, things can't change. Denver can't be good. Jerry Jeudy drops the football. Bridgewater. Like, first of all, A-Rod's probably returning. He didn't opt out like I told everyone in the very beginning. He still could get traded, though. Like, if he goes anywhere, it's probably the Raiders or the Broncos, maybe another situation. But the Broncos are still a very, like, lead dog candidate for A-Rod if there was to be a trade. Let's say A-Rod walked into the GM's office, went into his personal restroom, dropped an upper decker, left it there for multiple weeks, and it just caused fermentation and basically the GM has had it. He's like, A-Rod's gone. We don't know the details. Maybe A-Rod does end up getting traded for reasons we don't know about. Logical reasons, which don't always translate in fantasy football and the NFL and the sports world and the real world. Logic tells you you don't have an MVP candidate or an MVP of the NFL coming out of that year. You don't just send him away. You don't have a team that you've built up and you've got this 1 or 2 year shot or window of maybe winning a Super Bowl, and because the quarterback's a little unhappy, you just send him away. Like, logic tells you that, but logic isn't always at play. So there's a scenario where he does get traded still, but probably unlikely. Javonte Williams, if A-Rod landed in Denver, would go to the moon. You'd be having people draft him a little bit below Najee Harris in redraft, which would be 2nd round. And you can go, I'm telling you, if A-Rod landed in Denver. Now, if Javonte Williams separates himself from Melvin Gordon during the offseason, let's say Melvin gets hurt, let's say Melvin just quits, retires, or has a horrible attitude, or the team comes out and publicly supports Javonte Williams. It says, we're going to start Javonte Williams. He's our starter. He's our future. He looks fantastic. Maybe he breaks off a touchdown run that ever is on film and everybody's posting it all over social media. He could climb as high as round 3 in redraft. Now, Mark is asking about Dynasty. Where do I take him in Dynasty? I probably would say you don't want to take him any higher than round 3. He feels like he's climbing into round 3. The reason you don't want to take him any higher than round 3 is I still think you don't have to. There's still a ton of players in round 2 that are more than worth drafting in Dynasty ahead of Javonte Williams because of the potential unknowns. He's no lock. You know, look at players in the past like Trent Richardson and Monte Ball, and there's all kinds of players that looked appealing, that had a lot of upside, that didn't deliver. Look at Jacobs, how good he looked, and now how bad he looks just 3 years later, and some people still love him, and some people say, hey, he did pretty good, but he's still not what he should be in terms of value from this point moving forward. You never know, so you don't want to go spending 2nd and 1st round value on a guy that hasn't even yet been anointed the starter. We're doing a lot of speculation, so it's like 3rd round Dynasty, redraft 5th round, and then we'll have to play it by ear as the news comes out. I don't want to be predictive and tell you where I think his ceiling could go to. We don't really know. And I need to feel it. I need to digest it when it's happening before I start predicting. But could I see him climb into the third round in redraft? I could. If news is set up to drive that kind of ADP, you know, like, oh my God, he's so amazing. This is the next Jonathan Taylor. Smitty was right. Oh my God, he looks good. Then yes, he would climb into people's third round value. He would be below in redraft, below Harris, but not much below him. Harris is going in the second round. Najee Harris is going in round 2. If Javonte Williams had a grip on the starting job, which he probably won't have, he's going to look like a 50-50 guy, most likely going into week 1. That will help keep his ADP at bay. It will help all of us scoop him up at 5th round value, under the assumption that this threat that everybody sees in Melvin Gordon and Denver and the roadblocks, they see it as big problems. We don't. So we don't really want Javonte Williams to rise up yet. We want to take advantage of it because we know he will. You know, the odds are very high that he will. There's no lock at all, but the odds are very, very high that he climbs right to where we believe he will very quickly. So we don't necessarily need it to happen right now, and we need to take advantage of it. Love Javonte Williams. So Mark, to answer your question, third round, but be careful. A lot of it depends. Text me, because Mark, I know Mark has the one-on-one text advice service, and you know, Mark, text me. We'll go over this in detail once you're on the clock, but you need to, and if you guys want that kind of service too, heysmitty.com, order my text service today. I just opened up a whole new batch of those types of products. You can now buy 3 months, a 3-month block of texting versus having to buy like a whole year or do monthly. 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. Very simple now. But Mark, I would say like it all depends on who's there. Even like in the third round, like you got to tell me who's on the clock and we'll go over it. Next player to discuss is who? Who is this? Who is this right here? Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake expects to play more of a versatile role with the Raiders, including taking snaps at wide receiver. Look, all I know is Kenyon Drake is not good for Jacobs. Josh Jacobs' value has tanked, and bringing this man in and paying him essentially low but starter money. It's starter money. It's the low end of starter money, but he's getting paid it. And Jacobs not being involved in the passing game, and the team last year going, we're going to get him involved in the passing game, and they didn't, makes you have to come to the conclusion that they don't really believe in Kenyon Drake. I'm sorry, in Josh Jacobs as a PPR guy. I don't know that they believe in Kenyon Drake either. And I'm not promoting Kenyon Drake as this amazing fantasy football option in 2021. I'm merely telling you, out of both players, Kenyon Drake and Josh Jacobs, regardless of how well Jacobs has played this past 2 or 3 years, getting 1,000 yards, looking pretty decent, Drake is the more, he just said it, versatile player. And he's going to get more opportunities catching the football, which will ultimately lead to Drake being more productive, especially if you play PPR. Because Drake is going to get, if you think about it, majority of the PPR snaps, and he expects to play wide receiver. Like, if you expect, out of all the years that Josh Jacobs has not caught PPR volume and pulled it in and held it tightly, will it ever stop? No, I don't know. Light up the stage. Jonathan Jacobs won't go. Okay? He's not going to do it. He's not going to do it now. He didn't do it before. Jacobs wasn't getting volume in PPR before Drake arrived. If you think that when Drake arrives, all of a sudden Jacobs is going to be fed PPR volume, you're kidding yourself. This guy, whether Arizona used him right or wrong, and they used him wrong, that's the answer. This guy knows how to catch the football. This guy is a PPR guy. This guy has Gaskin or whatever type skill set. He's a PPR and rushing nightmare for Jacobs. And I would rather have, like Terry just said right here, I'd rather have Drake over Jacobs straight up. I probably would try and take advantage of trading Jacobs for Drake and getting a whole bunch more because I know the value. But I'd rather just straight up, if I can't trade, you're forcing me to pick the player that will outscore the other. I'm taking Kenyon Drake, especially in PPR. It's a no-brainer. If he's getting even 80% of the PPR work and 40% of the rushing, sum total, Drake has more volume than Jacobs, who, I might add, never ever carried the football as a starter at the NFL level. Noah, we're not surprised you disagree at all. Like, I would be more shocked if you thought I was actually on point with this topic, Noah. So, Noah's like my safeguard to know that what I'm saying is correct and on the right path. Because if Noah doesn't agree with me, I know I'm good. I'm still facing north. Onward. It's good. It's actually like a barometer. I'm starting to use it in a positive way now. We should be the first QB off the board. It's Mahomes, but I love Allen as much. Allen could be the number one quarterback in fantasy football, please. Bottom line. I love Allen. Love him. So Drake, a little bit of Drake news. Nothing crazy other than it confirms that, kind of what I feel. It's coming, I believe, from Drake's mouth. So take it for what it is. But all right, here we go. Another little nugget here in terms of running back sleepers, rookies, guys to make sure you have rostered in 2021 redraft, and especially in Dynasty. And the weird thing is Trey Sermon doesn't cost you near what he should in Dynasty. Like, it's ridiculous. In a rookie-only draft, he's still going, like, if anybody has any left, I've seen a couple, still going like 9, 10. Like, one guy's like, I'm on the clock at 11. Is it too early to take Sermon? I'm like, no! Like, Sermon should have been gone. This is a gift. Take it. Sermon at 9 or 10 or 11 or even 8 in a rookie-only draft. Give me a break. And The Athletic reporting that the 49ers want to run the ball 500 times in 2021. Sermon's going to get over 200 carries in 2021. Sermon is going to get over 200 carries in 2021. Even if he starts off a little bit slow. And I've got ties to 49er communities like most of you know and some of you don't know. And those communities say, get ready. Sermon will be unleashed earlier than a lot of people think. It could happen really, really fast. And if this guy, and Ronaldo, take Mitchell as well. When I speak of Trey Sermon, I want everybody to know this from here moving forward, okay? When I speak of Trey Sermon, I am also speaking of Elijah Mitchell. If I tell you to draft Sermon, you draft Elijah Mitchell. You cuff them together because they're both a rookie duo that I absolutely love. They have to be cuffed together. Okay? So moving forward, when I mention Sermon, I'm mentioning Mitchell as well. Merge them together. You got to have both. Thank you, Ronaldo. Sermon is built perfectly for this Niners system. He's built differently than every other running back on the roster. Sure, Mostert is a quick, speedy guy. And if Mostert gets 5-6 carries a game, even 7, it's not going to hurt anything. Like, you want Mostert getting carries. You want Mostert involved. Mostert can pop off a 50-yard touchdown run, on one out of every, 20 rushes. So, he's a great player to have on the field moving around. Sermon will be used up the gut, and Shanahan hasn't had a player like this in a while. And Shanahan investing a third-round pick on Trey Sermon should tell you that he is going to utilize him and give him a go. And Sermon is going to be brought up and matured alongside Trey Lance. When Trey Lance is in there, I almost guarantee that when Trey Lance is in the lineup, Trey Sermon will also be in the lineup. Trey Sermon could be in the lineup quicker than Trey Lance, though. But if Trey Lance is in the lineup, I almost feel like it's going to be a lock that both Treys are in there at the same time. They're going to mature together, learn together, and guess what happens when you're a rookie quarterback and you have a running back that's working with you, protecting you, getting to know you? You want to have this person with you. They've got a bond already. You see them walking out together, talking together. They've got a bond already, and a quarterback oftentimes gets what they want in terms of those little requests, and he's going to be like, look, I want Sermon out there. If Sermon isn't already out there. And so anybody thinking that Sermon's not going to just like Chutes and Ladders, just slide up to the top of the lineup without having to earn and climb through the pecking order, they're crazy. He's going to slide right around into the starting lineup because he's the only back built like he is. He's a wrecking ball, bowling ball of a running back that I don't care if he doesn't have Mostert's speed or doesn't look as good as, you know, Harris on tape or whatever you might say about Sermon. Sermon's a wrecking ball. He's painful to tackle. He's different than every running back on the roster, and Shanahan will feed him the football. Hit the thumbs up on the way in the door. We've got 70 to 80 people bouncing in and out. It helps the channel when you punch the button. Please do it for your man Smitty. And we're live every Tuesday and Thursday if you're new to the show. 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern, 2 hours straight. And that's just one of the things I do. I'm live all the time, but this is a set show. Tuesday and Thursday. Eventually, we're going Monday through Friday. It depends on you guys. It depends on how many of you hit that like button. It depends on how many of you join the Door League. It depends on a lot of things. But we're going to Monday through Friday soon. Show them the sermon mic, bro. Okay. A lot of you like this analogy. What about Mostert? What about Mostert? I like Mostert, bro. But this is Mostert. Okay? What about Wiederson? I like Wiederson, Smitty. This is Wilson. Wilson's good. These are good remotes. Smitty, what about Trey Sermon? This is Trey Sermon. Okay? I forget which one. Mostert's this one. Wilson's this one. This is one of the other guys. Hasty, whoever you want. And this is Sermon. Okay? There's a big difference. And Shanahan knows that. That's why he spent a 3rd round pick on the guy. Shanahan ain't going to draft him to not use him. I do go Monday through Friday, Austin, yes. But in terms of this live show, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. every Tuesday and Thursday, we are bringing it to Monday through Friday, eventually to take on the world, to take on all fantasy football communities. Sermon, baby. Sermon. I know some of you like Mostert. I know guys like Noah says that you're too high on the 3rd round running back right from the get-go. Yes. Whew. I didn't know if I was a little off. I thought maybe I was a little too high in Sermon in that segment. This confirms I'm right on track. No, Noah, you are my barometer. Noah, you are my barometer. You let me know I'm on course. When you're extremely negative, I know I'm on the right track. You are my South Star, so that I know to go the opposite direction, but straight, exactly north. Thank you, Noah. Noah, I owe you. I've been complaining about you lately. I owe you. I owe you a debt of gratitude for all of your guidance. When I feel you behind me saying, no, I know that I'm correct. I love it. Noah's the man. Noah, keep it coming, bro. I love when I get that validation. It's like a spark. Woo! All right. Trey. Last bit of news. Dallas Goedert will be featured in Nick Sirianni's offense this season. Like, okay, great. We knew that. Like, okay, great. But I wanted to put it on screen so we could talk about it. He is definitely a player to keep an eye on. He is definitely somebody that can have an impact that's way greater than the cost of entry, his ADP. You can definitely, I think, have a good value here in Goddard because people are worried about this and that, Ertz and Hurts and, you know, Sirianni, the offense, what will happen? I don't like Hurts. So many people don't like Hurts. Like, you advise somebody on, hey, draft Jalen Hurts late in the draft if you know, you end up screwing up and you don't get a big gun quarterback and he's still sitting there, and then I get an email back. It's like, bro, I don't like Jalen Hurts. I don't believe that he's going to be the starter. I get there's concern with Sirianni and his lack of support for Hurts, but Hurts is a great Now, he's not a good quarterback. He's a great quarterback option. Like, he may not be the best passer in the world, and we don't know if that will improve, and maybe he becomes a great passer. A lot of you told me when I started pushing Josh Allen as a top 4 quarterback as a rookie, I can't tell you, I didn't hear the end of it until right now. He's a horrible passer, Smitty. He's not a good, accurate guy at all. He only runs the football. It's Josh Allen's just merely a man, not a superhero like Mahomes. Where are you getting this from that you like Josh Allen? I mean, give Hurts a chance before you toss him out of the future potential quarterback he could be. Not everybody's exactly who they need to be coming out of 2 starts, and getting benched in the middle of a game because, I don't know, your coach is a moron. And then you're going to judge him and go, Hurts is what he is. We already know what he's become. Like, he hasn't prepared for an offseason before. He got shoved into the lineup, did amazingly well in his first game, and now everyone says Hurts is this or Hurts is that. Smitty, can you say Hurts like you say Herbert? No, Spacula. I wish I could for you, but Herbert is special, and that is for Herbert only. That keeps Herbert in a class of his own. Is Herbert doesn't share that with Hurts. It is funny though. Like Terry wants it, but no. Herbert doesn't share the stage with anyone. Okay? Where's my mic? Herbert. There we go. Noah. No, Noah. Okay. Dallas Goedert ain't even on my radar, says Wonk. That's okay, bro. He doesn't have to be on everybody's radar. And not everybody's going to like everybody. That's just the way it is. And that's okay. And now, you know what else is okay? ADP ranking evaluation time is what's okay. Punch the thumbs up on your way in the door. We're going to go ahead and put all of these buddies right over here. And we're going to start doing the ADP ranking analysis. First, we'll do the top 20. And then we'll keep going down the rankings. So we're going to do good and bad. Talk about which players look like sleepers. You know it. Okay. McCaffrey, 1.1. I know some people worry about McCaffrey, but just speaking from the ADP, like, okay, what else are you going to do at 1.1? Like, are you taking Cook or Henry or Kamara? A lot of people won't take Kamara. So is it Cook? Like, I'm okay if you want to get bold and put Cook at 1. I'm not saying you're crazy. I'm not saying anything of the sort. But for me, Christian McCaffrey, when on the field, is elite, electric, and the last time he was on the field, he was phenomenal. He just got banged up and couldn't get healthy. None of them were serious injuries. It's a lot like Alvin Kamara's 2019 injuries, and how, yes, Noah says the Suns have no chance. I knew the Suns were winning it all. I just needed confirmation. Attaboy, Noah. Yes, I love when Noah's there for me. Says Suns, no chance. Suns in 4, Noah. Suns in 4, bro. McCaffrey, to me, 1.1 lock. I feel like 2019, Alvin Kamara had a lot of lingering injuries too. He couldn't get right. And then people thought, 2020, I'm avoiding Alvin Kamara. He couldn't stay healthy. He's falling apart. Alvin Kamara went nuts. Had a phenomenal year. One of his best year ever. He had 83 receptions instead of 81. Had a boatload of touchdowns, 150-yard game in Week 16 with 6 TDs. Completely won people their championships in Week 16 single-handedly. I love Alvin Kamara in 2021. He's actually my number 2. But my number 1 is Christian McCaffrey. I don't hesitate at all. And if you get the 1.1 pick, you are so lucky. You've been gifted a recipe and blueprint to win your league. You just don't have to screw it up is all. Okay? McCaffrey, then take either Gibson if he falls, or you could take JK if you want there. But the money and potential and value is in 2 of the elite wide receivers that are almost 100% certain to be available at 24 and 25 at the 2 turn picks if you get the 1.1. People say, Smitty, what should I draft? Who should I draft? There's no set plan. It's always best player available. But when you have the 1.1, I can pretty much guarantee you will have McCaffrey and 2 wide receivers that could both be top 5 wide receivers. That's why I can speak to that a little more concretely when you've got the 1.1 and what you're capable of being able to do with the 1.1, because it's a lot more predictable. It's easy to identify that DK or Ridley or Jefferson and DK or Ridley and Jefferson or AJ Brown and Jefferson will be available for you at 24 and 25 at the back-to-backs. If not, then Gibson's going to be there. Dalvin Cook, I don't mind at 1 at all, number 2 at all. I think you got to cuff him to Alexander Madison. You're going to hear half the haters in the world say Madison's garbage. He filled in and looked awful. Blah, 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 blah. Give it up for your boy Smitty. $19.99 gets you in the intro song. Actually, $14.99 gets you in the intro song. And $20 gets you on the door and in the door league, bro. Let's skip down a little bit. Henry, too high. Number 3 overall is too high. The guy had, let's take a look at Henry's carry total. Henry, if we go to the marker board, Derrick Henry, just in the past 2 years. So 2019 and 2020. Derrick Henry has had 303 carries, 400 carries. You're talking about 703 carries just in 2020 and 2019. If you factor in that Derrick Henry is going to now walk into 2021 just in these 2.5 years, let's say he makes it to week 14. Week 14, Henry is going to get 300 carries by week 14 or 15. He will be at 1,000 carries in less than 3 of his last 3 seasons. He will be at 1,000 carries in 2.85 seasons. That is insane. He's going to hit a wall. And if he doesn't hit a wall in week 14, 15, 16, if somehow he escapes, this is 2021 week 18, okay? If Henry, who's playing like this, no question about it, Henry's playing at this level right here. Just absolute monster. 10 out of 10. Dude's a freaking beast. He's going to start off insane as well. But at some point, Henry's going to crash. And while it's possible he could get to, week 17, we'll put it, while it's possible he could get there and crash right here, there is a strong possibility that he crashes here, and it'll be right before, right after the double-digit weeks in 2021 here, and you're going to be left holding the bag. If you draft Henry, my advice is to trade him like by week 10 to make sure you're not holding Henry when he crashes. And for those of you that say he's not going to crash, he's built different, blah, blah, blah. Like, Brian, I get what you're saying here. I'm not ripping on your stance, but a lot of people say that, he can still handle the regression. Not at that volume. That volume's different. That volume has you crashing. It doesn't have you just slowly, like, falling off. Like, that volume is insane. That volume breaks running backs. There used to be a 300, and I think it was 71 carry curse. If you carried the ball 371 times, you were absolutely done. Your body broke down. You were never the same again. And that is definitely something to worry about with this, because the man has had 303 and then 400 carries and likely to be around 400 carries this year, on pace for it. And being on pace for it is what's going to break him. But when people say, like Brian, if people are like no offense, aren't worried about him falling off, his ADP value in Dynasty and Redraft, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. In Dynasty, his ADP value is about here. In Redraft, his ADP value is right here. So you have to ask yourself, why has it dropped off to third round? People are anticipating a huge drop off. The question is, are you going to be a year early, or are you going to be a year late? And that's up to you. I'm not going to tell anybody to avoid Derrick Henry entirely. I'm just going to tell you that there's a strong chance he drops off during the middle of the season or the tail end of the season, and I would love to trade him early. I don't mind drafting him. I'm just going to trade him. And I think Henry's going to beast out at the beginning of the year. So nobody's going to be able to say, Smitty, you're wrong. Look at Henry. I'm predicting that Henry blows up in the beginning of the year. He's going to look fantastic. He's going to look amazing. He's going to have 125 yards and 2 touchdowns in week 1 or week 2, or have multiple touchdown games in that first half of the season. He just has so many carries, he's going to drop off at some point. Alvin Kamara is my number 2, so I love him at 4. Jonathan Taylor, I think, is fine at number 5. People are freaking out about Jonathan Taylor. I'm going to go ahead and put a little check mark. I'm going to carry a check mark with me. So I'm going to go boom, boom. This one is a little bit of a worry for me, so I'm going to put an X right here. I don't like that. Kamara, love it, love it. This right here, I'm indifferent on. I think this isn't horrible value. 6, 7, 8 is about right for Barkley. You got to factor in a little bit of a slow start. I did like him around 4 or 5 earlier. I'm starting to fade him into 6, 7, 8. That's not bad. I'm not like disrespecting him. I'm just starting to fade him a little bit because I just worry a little bit about him staying healthy. But I don't mind him at 6, 7, 8. I don't like Chubb here either. So let's go ahead and put a, can I replicate this? Let me replicate. Why can't I do anything with this X? Oh, that's why. So Henry, I'm going to go ahead and I can't put an X there. It's freezing on me. But Chubb, I'm going to say it's a little early for Chubb. I'm not going to give him a pass. I'm not going to give him a Smitty approval at 6 or 7 or 8. I just feel like Chubb is potential injury concern for me. He had a knee issue last year. He had the most severe knee injury I could ever find documented in college football. The wear and tear is real. They run him up the gut a ton. I feel like Noah, you've seen my Nick Chubb doubt, bro. It's all out there. I get that some people love him, but I just feel like this is too high. Not to mention he's got Kareem Hunt, who outscored him last year, and you could cite, well, Chubb did this well from this week to that week, but Kareem Hunt still outscored Chubb. He still outscored him. So I'm just not liking him at number 7. Like, do I like him at the turn? Sure. If you can get Chubb at 12, which you probably won't be able to do, but I'd be okay with that. Doesn't mean I'm fading him entirely. Doesn't mean I'm calling him an absolute bust. I just think that you're running the risk of taking Chubb way too high at number 7 when he shares carries. They have to be lights out in Cleveland for him to earn that value, and he's got to stay healthy. Staying healthy, Cleveland Browns just kind of falling apart offensively. They've made some improvements. They've lost some players, made some improvements. Like, Cleveland's no lock to just deliver what they had last year and continue on course. They're susceptible, just like the Ravens, of potentially going large or falling apart. It's not the Browns are not a lock to replicate and get better. Like, I think everybody's just kind of like saying, oh, the Browns are going to win the division. Browns are this, Browns are that. I still have my doubts about the Browns. I still have my doubts about a lot of pieces of that offense still. And so for me, I'm going to hold tight on drafting Chubb at a place where I can get a Zeke Elliott and cuff him to Pollard, because you can't cuff Chubb to Hunt. You got to spend standalone value on Hunt. I'd rather have Zeke and Pollard than have just Nick Chubb. Easily, like without hesitation. Kelsey's too early at 8, but I don't mind when people draft him there if they have proven track records of taking a quarterback early. Like, if you know what you're doing, I'm going to go ahead and use, let's see. I want to use something else, but I can't, my system's locking up here. If you know what you're doing, you have a proven track record with Kelsey in the first round, then by all means do it. But I myself don't draft well with Kelsey in the first round. It's just not something that caters to my strengths as a fantasy football owner. You've got to know your strengths and weaknesses as a fantasy football owner, or you're going to burn yourself trying a strategy that works for other people that might not work for you. So give me Fant. Not to mention, I'm the kind of guy that goes and finds the next Waller or the next TJ Hawkinson, both of which I called last year and were in my top 12 bold predictions. So, like, everyone's going to say, well, yeah, good luck finding the next Hawkinson and Waller. And I say, thank you. I will. I'll be on my way. Fant, Tunyon, Logan Thomas. There's a lot of good options you can get late in your draft. And I think that that's fantastic. Okay, so Kelsey's too high. Devontae Adams, Noah says that's ridiculous. Noah, are you agreeing with me that Kelsey's too high? Adams. I think people are overreacting to Adams right now, assuming that A-Rod won't be back and he's falling. This is not his current ADP anymore. I believe Adams is more around like, I would say around this like range where I put the check mark here. This is about where Adams is, I think, falling to. But I think that I still feel like he has the ability to earn this value. I don't think Aaron Jones or Adams probably even sniffs the first round right now. So this ADP data hasn't like caught up to that whole, concern, a wave of concern that's striking fantasy football worlds and ADPs right now. So I wouldn't expect these guys to be here. Elliott's climbed up a lot since this ADP's probably been able to register it. I'd say Elliott's climbed to like 6, 7, 8 instead of being at 9, 10, 11. Elliott was attainable here. I still like Elliott at number 7. I would make an argument that if it went McCaffrey, Cook, and Kamara, or McCaffrey, Kamara, Cook, and those three were off the board, I firmly believe that Elliott is worth considering at 4 or 5 overall if you cuff him to Tony Pollard, and you have to cuff him to Tony Pollard. As I always say, you should be ashamed of yourself if you don't cuff him to Tony Pollard, because it's very easy to do, and it's a very safe approach, and it guarantees you the kind of production you need from your top 5 overall investment. So, yeah, I'm okay with Elliott anywhere around 4, 5, 6, 7. Tyreek Hill at 12 is arguable. Mahomes is a little early at 13 because you can get him later 9 times out of 10, and that's what matters. Perception is reality. Don't be taking Mahomes at 13 when his ADP is at like 18 to 28. In fact, I wouldn't touch Mahomes probably in the second round this year, not because I don't love him, but because I love Josh Allen more, and he's going in round 4, and we're getting laughed at when we take Josh Allen in round 4. There are so many people hell-bent against taking Josh Allen in round 4. I talk about him at 4.9 in a lot of my videos, and people are like, oh my God, you're taking Josh Allen, a quarterback, early at 4.09? Are you crazy? So if Allen is arguably as good as Mahomes, why on earth would you take Mahomes at 13 when you're leaving Diggs right below him, Hopkins, Metcalf, all these other players on the board, when you can take Josh Allen in the 4th round, take Diggs here in, round 2, essentially. You could take Elliott and Diggs and get Josh Allen later. So as much as I love Mahomes is nowhere deserving of that pick, because his counterpart, a guy just as good as him, is falling to the 4th round. It's not so much about Mahomes, it's about Josh Allen, is why I don't draft Mahomes really this year at anywhere near this value. If Mahomes fell to the 3rd round, which he sometimes does, I like him there. I like him a lot there. Diggs is probably my favorite player on this list so far in terms of value. Diggs right here. Diggs can be the number 1 wide receiver in 2021. I love Stephon Diggs. I love him at 14 overall. I love him with the back-to-back 12 and 13 picks. I'm not scared to pair Gibson and Diggs together at my 12 and 13 turn picks. I don't care how many people like Akers more. I don't like Akers. I'm not drafting Akers in the top 12. I'm just not doing it. You might do it. I'm okay if you do it. You have your arguments. I have my arguments. I'm not going near Akers at all in top 12 territory. I'm just not doing it. I'm taking a Diggs all day long over Akers. And I'll reach on a Antonio Gibson before I take Akers anywhere near the top of that 2nd round or the bottom of the 1st. I'm not going near Akers, and I don't care what anybody tells me. I don't care what you think you've seen. I'm not trusting McVay. I'm not trusting McVay with his running back usage. I'm not trusting anything of the sort. And I certainly am not trusting Akers to stay healthy on top of all of that. And you might argue, I see you, Max. You might argue, well, hey, Gibson's got the toe injury as well. But honestly, no, I'm more concerned about Akers staying healthy than I am Gibson, way more. And Gibson to me has all the trust in the world in his staff. And some might say, oh well, he isn't gonna get as much PPR work. Watch. Gibson's gonna be utilized a ton. Gibson's gonna be on fire. I try and take Gibson at 15, 18, 17, 14, 19. But if I was in a bind and I'm sitting there at the 12 and 13 picks and I don't like the running backs, Akers is my option. I'm real worried about whether running backs are going to fall to me, because I know my league mates, they're very running back hungry and they're very running back driven. I'm taking Gibson all day long if I've got to. Anywhere near that 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 range. Again, trying my very best to trade down if I can, trying my very best to get value. Trust your gut, though. If you like Akers, don't let me convince you otherwise. Only let me help you if you're on the fence about him. Don't let me change your mind about a player ever, because I'm going to be wrong. I'm not going to get even 75% or more. I'm going to get less than 75% of all of this evaluation probably wrong. And I know that sounds like, oh crap, that doesn't sound good. That's good. That would be a good year. That's a good year. To nail 80% of what you talk about in even the top 20, like, it gets more difficult as you get down the draft. It's like eyesight. You have astigmatism. This eye sees the microphone here. This eye sees it slightly over here. That's astigmatism. As it gets further away, they start separating, and your vision gets worse and worse and worse. That's like fantasy football and evaluation. Like, we're talking about a very tight window where it's easier to measure and predict. And even the best analyst in the world is not landing 80% of what they're talking about in their start bench advice, in anything. So you need to make sure you trust your own gut before you trust anybody else's, including mine. Use me as a tool, use me as a guide, use me as somebody that helps you when you're on the fence about something, but don't let me or anybody else make the decisions for you. Because if you like Mark likes Akers, trust Akers. If you're like Noah and you like Akers more than Gibson, then trust him. Trust your gut. Don't go off what anybody else says, and make sure you stay true to your gut instinct all the time. Where were we at? Eckler, I like Eckler a lot. I like him. The further he falls, the more I like him. Like, he's safer here. I don't like him in round 1. I feel like he could get hurt. You know, he's not proven to stay healthy and durable yet. So I'm going to go ahead and put Akers at a good, safe place of this, 15, 16, 17, 18 range. I like that. Again, not a huge fan of Akers. The later you get him, the more I open up to the idea of drafting him. So, like, he won't fall to 18 or 15, most likely. But if he was sitting there, I needed a running back. I felt like he was kind of, similar upside as let's say, a DK. I could see going that direction in one draft, not in a lot of drafts because I worry too much about this situation. But I feel like Akers is way too high at 10, 11, 12, 13. Way too high. Here I'm more comfortable with it, but I still like DK. I'm still taking Diggs. I'm still taking a plethora of wide receivers over Akers. Hopkins is great value here. You can't argue with that. He's arguably top 12 material, and you're getting him at 17. DK, same thing. Joe Mixon, no chance I'm taking Joe Mixon in round 2. You've got to be out of your mind. Trick me once? No, you didn't. Trick me twice? You didn't do that either. But trick my people 3 times? I don't think so. Not on my watch. Round 3, opened up offense. Jamar Chase, Burrow throwing the football, moving the football down the field. You only really have to worry about injury with Mixon. I like him more. I'm trying to tell you, I like him more. But 3rd round, not 2nd round. Don't do it. Don't bet on Mixon with your 2nd round pick in 2021. Use your 3rd round pick. Let him fall, or let somebody else take him and push other players down. Stop buying into players that have disappointed you multiple seasons already in a row. Mixon is a risk in round 2. And it's not so much about Mixon, it's about the other players you're passing on. Are you really going to pass on a Diggs, on a Hopkins, on a DK, on a Justin Jefferson, on a Calvin Ridley? No. No. Mixon is a worry, and one that is acceptable, an acceptable worry in round 3, not in round 2. George Kittle, too high. Way too high. Injury risk, number 20. No thank you. I like him a lot. I know I got a lot of Niner people in here. You're not going to be happy about that, but Kittle, no way you draft Kittle as your 2nd drafted player. There's just no way. Yeah, injury. He was coming off injury. That's part of the problem. That's why I'm worried about. Part of why I'm worried about Akers, bro. Okay. We're still in round 2. Number 21 overall, Calvin Ridley. What a steal. I love Calvin Ridley at 21. AJ Brown, 22. These are some of the reasons why Mixon is a risk, is you still have players on the board like Ridley and AJ Brown. And Gibson on the board at 23. Are you kidding me? Like, how can you pass on Gibson, AJ Brown, Ridley, DK for Mixon? I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. I get if you want to give Mixon another try, bump him to the bottom of these guys and put him at like 25. Like below Gibson, below Jefferson, below AJ Brown, below Ridley. If you like Mixon right below those guys at 25, above Jacobs, obviously. Even if you liked him above Najee Harris, which I don't, or JK, which I certainly don't, then I would say, okay, do your thing. But there's no way in hell I am drafting Mixon over all of the guys I just named. It's not even close. You're talking about J.K. Dobbins, Harris even for me, Justin Jefferson, Antonio Gibson, A.J. Brown, Ridley, DK, Diggs, all those guys above. Those guys are so much more valuable and trustworthy than Mixon. I don't even understand how any of you in the chat are having this argument with me at all. Like, below that, sure. You want to trust him at barely third round value, top of the third round. I get it. But all those players are so much safer, have more upside. Can trust them a whole lot more. I don't even get it. Even like 2, 3, 4 of those guys, if you don't like all of them. Goodness gracious. Ronaldo says I'm going to make Mixon undrafted. Apparently not. There's some people in the chat that do like him, and they're upset that he's not a second rounder to me. But he's not. He's not. No way. No Joe Mixon. No, not in the second round. Not with all of this talent that bleeds into the top of the third round. You have to be out of your mind to trust Mixon. The One More Try song comes to mind. One more try. I didn't know. You didn't know how much I trusted you. One more try. What? One more. Test. One more try.
You didn't know how much I loved you. Living all these lonely nights without Noah.
No Joe Mixon. Not in round 2. I'm not doing it. Okay. Next up, I say love Calvin Ridley, love AJ Brown, love Antonio Gibson at 23. There's no way we're getting him on the regular at 23. Absolutely no way. But if you see him there, snag him immediately. Justin Jefferson, steal. Absolute steal at 24. And you might get him at 28. Noah hates Gibson. Yes! Where is that? Where is that? Noah hates Gibson. I knew it. Here we go. Gibson is really nothing special. Don't get the hype. Yes! I knew we were right about Gibson. I knew it. I knew it. Jefferson, guy deserves to be top 15. Okay? You hear me? I'm not stuttering. Top 15. Justin Jefferson, JJ, the real JJ, the new JJ. Yeah, sorry, Julio. JJ, Justin Jefferson is deserving of top 15 overall consideration. And you're getting him at least at 24. At least at 24. Minimum. Like, don't take him any higher than you have to. You can steal him away. What is Jacobs doing here? What is Jacobs doing at number 25? I don't even understand how did Jacobs even make it? It comes from Fantasy Pros. How does he even make the top 25? Even like earlier on, like a month ago, let's say the data is corrupt and it's carrying over like weeks ago. Like, how does Jacobs make the top 25? I wouldn't draft Jacobs. Many of these rankings are about 4 months old. They're not, though. They're their ADP data. It's the ADP data. Yeah, we can't even. Some of these rankings are just like we can't even go any deeper. Like, I've got all these rankings here. We can look at them real quickly, but like Jacobs isn't in my top 50. I wouldn't draft Jacobs in the 4th round. I wouldn't draft Jacobs anywhere near the 4th round. God, it's awful. That's awful. Waller. Oh, look at this. I'm sorry. I skipped a couple. Harris. I love Harris at 26. He's not falling there. He's going higher than that. Harris. I'd take Harris as high as 18, 15, maybe 15. I worry a little more. I did a segment on this before when they released a line. What's his name? DeCastro. And they brought in another lineman to replace him. I forget his name. But I feel like people need to be careful, but I think 18 is fine. I love Harris at 18. Harris is going to be special. He's just going to have a whole lot of situations where he could do a whole lot more, but won't because of the offensive line. You know what I mean? You're going to see special talent. You're like, damn it, he hit 4 guys right at the line of scrimmage. Like, he's going to have moments where you're like, if he only had a line. Josh Allen, way too high. because he's going in the 4th round, and I know that because of the ridicule I get on a regular basis when I talk about it. So J.K. Dobbins, if you can get J.K. Dobbins at 28, you need to continue to play in those leagues every year. Double down. Invite them all back for another league. Let's do another league. Let's run it back. Keep drafting with people that let you have J.K. Dobbins at 28 overall. Waller, that's good value. Swift, I'm not going near Swift. You've got my avoids given their ADP right here, okay? These are my avoids given their ADP. ADPs can definitely change how I feel. Mixon, Swift, Jacobs, Akers to an extent. I don't necessarily want to even write Akers on here. I will. But Akers, it depends on where he's going. So I'll put like a dotted X through him because if he's going at 10, no. If he's going at, or I'll do a circle. If he's going at 10, no. 11, 12, no. I like Akers at 18. He's probably not going to fall there. He's probably not. So the X is going to come into account when it's like 10 to 14. I just don't like it. I'm not owning Akers pretty much across the board. Those are my must-avoid players given their ADP values in 2021. I actually love Mike Thomas a little bit later. I don't mind him here. I like him a tiny bit later, but this is pretty decent value. I love Clyde Edwards-Helaire anywhere from 30 on. I think he could win you a league at 30 on. I think Sanders is another avoid. Holy crap, I forgot to put Sanders on there. 84 of you in here, please punch a thumbs up. We're doing Fantasy Court in a minute. 91 of you in here, we're doing Fantasy Court in a minute where you guys ask me the speed round. In fact, let's jump this Fantasy Court right now since we got people in here. Sanders, no way. No way I'm drafting Miles Sanders in 2021. Those are my avoids. Stay away from those guys at their current ADP cost. Now it is time for Fantasy Football Court. You've all been waiting for it. Ask your questions. I will toss it on screen. I'm the judge, jury, and executioner of your topic. Mallet in hand, ready to go. Fantasy Football Court, here we go. Ask your questions. Let's go. Would you trade Clyde Edwards-Helaire and a 2023 first, or Akers and a 2024 second and 14 Superflex? Would you trade Clyde and a 2023 first? Are you saying for or? You're saying for and or. I'd rather have Clyde in the 2023 first rounder than Akers in a second rounder. Number one, Mark, this is not going to be popular, but I like Clyde Edwards-Helaire more than I like Akers. Now, I'm not a dumb man, Mark. I've been doing this a while. I would certainly trade Akers for more than Clyde, which you would be doing, or in this case, the inverse of what you should be doing. Don't do this trade. If I'm an Akers owner and I quietly like Clyde more than Akers, because I do, I'm going to go after your first rounder, just like this guy right here is trying to do, Mark. He's trying to take away your first rounder and get a guy that he quietly likes as much as Akers. I'd rather have Clyde. I'm taking Clyde in the first rounder. This is probably the easiest call all day, because it's the first question of the trial, bro. Appreciate you. Next question. Elgin, Smitty, what round will you take George Kittle? I would take him like mid-third to late third. Probably won't fall 10 times out of 10. He's going to be taken probably before the late third. If he's not, I'm taking him. I like him there. Mid-third, I'm okay with it because you can couple it with a pretty close, fourth round pick. But I tend to not draft Kittle. There's always somebody there like CeeDee Lamb. I probably would rather have over Kittle. Josh Allen, I end up wanting more than Kittle. So, like, Allen's in the fourth round. a CeeDee Lamb, a Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Those guys seem to be there. Justin Jefferson. I'd rather draft one of those guys and take a Fant. I'd rather have Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Fant later than Kittle and the running back I'm going to get where I'm getting Fant. You know what I'm saying? Compare apples to apples, baby. I think we broke something. Next question. Henry for Hunt and Ridley. Dynasty. You got to do this because Henry has near third round value in Dynasty. It's very hard for people in redraft to comprehend it because if you talk to somebody in redraft mindset about Dynasty, they're like, I don't understand what you're saying. Henry's going in the 3.1 range in Dynasty startups. Ridley's going above that. You're getting Hunt and Ridley in Dynasty. It's an easy call. It's a painful call because you're going to potentially watch Henry blow up for half of a season because I think he will do well, but I feel like he could fall off pretty quickly. You got to take the Ridley side of that deal. Deontay Johnson, yes or no? Given his cost, the cost of entry, I'd put him on my list of players not to draft in 2021. I've shown you that list already. I'll show you a little peek of it again right here. Put Deontay on it. Why? Because he's not guaranteed to get the volume there. It could be Claypool. It could be Juju. Juju outscored both of them, I believe, in most scoring formats last year. Deontay Johnson got peppered with targets, yes. From who? Big Ben, who does that. Okay, no other quarterback peppers wide receivers like Big Ben does. What happens when his arm falls off this season? Deontay Johnson is fool's gold at the cost everybody's paying at the expectation level that everybody has. I'm not going near Deontay in 2021. Not unless he falls to a great value. Sermon or Carter in redraft. This is tricky. This is one of those like even Steven type of things, bro, because you have the now potential in Carter, although there is some talk about him sharing carries in week 1. A lot of people thought he'd just be handed a job. He's got to be the best guy, right? No, he might share carries and they might have a committee similar to what Sermon's going to face in week 1. They could really be getting similar touches in week 1. It may not look or feel like that now, but they honestly could be getting similar touches in week 1. I'm going to lean slightly in the direction of Carter for right now in terms of like if you need the production now in like week 1, because he's probably going to get a lot of work regardless. Sermon should, but you never know. But if you're thinking long term, if this is a bench player you don't need until they either explode and replace one of your starters, like you're looking for a home run, or a player that you're going to use in week 10, you're not needing them now. Okay, this isn't your flex or something. Eileen Sermon, even in redraft, if you're looking at that later on down the season. Deontay Claypool made the most of it. People called Deontay a sleeper last season, and I laughed at them, but I can see now. Top 10 potential if he fixes the drop issue, says Mr. B. Mr. B, trust your gut, bro, but I'm going to say negatory on that. I do not feel that Deontay is going to live up to the hype. He's got drop issues like you mentioned. He's got a quarterback question mark right now. What happens when Big Ben goes down? Do you know what happened to Antonio Brown in the prime of his career when Big Ben went down? He vanished into like late wide receiver 2 value. You think Deontay Johnson with 2 other weapons and Najee Harris, and we're going to run heavy and more than ever before type system? Do you think that's going to be the recipe for Deontay to weather through in 2021? No thanks. No thank you. Trust your gut though, Mr. B. Don't let me detour you, Mr. B. Would you be happy with getting, first of all, Silva brother, I appreciate you, Andrew. You tell your brother hello. Would you be happy with getting Terry, Scary, and Thomas in the 3rd and 4th round as your wide receivers non-PPR? You're talking about Mike Thomas and Scary Terry. I would love Mike Thomas and Scary Terry as my wide receiver 1 and 2 in the 3rd and 4th round. You're talking about Mike Thomas in round 3 talking about Scary Terry in round 4, and let's say you go running back. Let's say you end up with Kamara and Gibson. Absolutely love that approach, bro. Totally Smitty approved. But I do need to know who's available, because it doesn't mean I'd take Scary Terry. I might take Justin Jefferson, and you didn't give me that option. And then you'd be in contempt, Andrew. Matt wants to know Henry or Kamara. Look, Henry's going to look as good, if not better, or at least the same as Kamara in the beginning of the year. But I believe Kamara's in a position to stay healthy, and Henry is going to be in a position to have to really fight to stay healthy. It's going to be hard for Henry to stay healthy. It's possible. He could fall off next year and get through all of 2021. I'm admitting that potential is there, but I'm going to bank on Kamara. If I'm drafting number 2 and McCaffrey's gone, Kamara's my number 2. Like, I think you could argue Pollard and Zeke handcuffed is equal to Henry in some respect in 2021, because Henry has had 700 carries in his last 2 seasons. You pile on 300 carries through week 14, he'll be at over 1,000 carries in less than 2.85 seasons. In his last 2.85 seasons, he will reach the 1,000 carry mark. That is crazy. Crazy. John says JJ is not falling to the 4 Smitty. He can and has in some leagues, John, because again, some of you tell me he's there and some of you tell me he's not there at the same time. I'm having literally the same conversation with 2 of you at the same time on Instagram. Since Smitty, I'm at 4.1 and he's sitting there. I'm at 4.3 and JJ's sitting there. Smitty, do I take him? And then I have you, John, that's DMing me. Jefferson's gone by to pick 18, bro. He's gone by pick 18. I'm talking to both of you at the same time. I want to introduce you so you can talk to each other. And John, you can argue with Steve about how this isn't possible, but Steve's looking at it in his draft. Like, it happens, bro. It happens. I see it all the time. I'm on all sides of it. But I was more talking about taking Justin Jefferson, not in the 4th round, but in the 3rd. If I misspoke, I'm sorry, but he does fall there, bro. I hear it from people all the time. Burrow or Justin Fields? Come on, Mr. B. Really? Like, Justin Fields isn't even starting. Justin Fields is walking into a disastrous situation at some point, with Nagy being his coach. But with weapons, I mean, he's got A-Rob, he's got Monty. There's some upside there. That offense is, it's gonna be a tough situation. But really, Burrow has top 5 quarterback potential. Just got handed Jamar Chase, and all of you love Mixon. So it's easy. Redraft, dynasty, doesn't matter. Superflex, whatever. Burrow, top 5 potential quarterback. Mike Davis or Gaskin? I'm going to say Mike Davis in redraft. If it's dynasty, it's more even, but I might lean Gaskin. If it's dynasty, then again, I might just say to myself, you know what? Davis could play 2 years. Let's go. Do I believe in Andy Dalton? No. Who said I believe in Andy Dalton? Like, who said that I believe Andy Dalton's the guy, but will they start Andy Dalton? They're gonna start Andy Dalton, bro. Like, what good is it to argue with me about Andy Dalton, whether he's good or not? It has nothing to do with me. I hate Andy Dalton. I don't hate Andy Dalton. I don't like Andy Dalton. But what are you even talking about, Mr. B? Like, what are you even talking about? They've come out saying we're going to move Fields along slowly. So what are you saying? Let's see, Dalton, the redheaded stepchild. Yeah, I don't believe in Dalton. I think that situation's not going to be fantastic for Fields out the gate, even if he started week 1. Kamara or Zeke? This is a good one. Kamara's my number 2. Zeke's around 4, 5, or 6 for me. So that tells you right there. Of course, I take Kamara. But if you cuff Zeke to Pollard, and let's say you don't have the cuff to Murray, you have an argument here. Like, Zeke is being disrespected. On top of that, Zeke Elliott and the Cowboys are being disrespected. Zeke Elliott is reportedly in the best shape of his life. I mean, people say that. It doesn't always mean it's true. But he looks good. I hear from multiple sources that actually are watching him that say Zeke Elliott looks phenomenal. And on top of that, there were a lot of people injured last year. The line, Dak, like, you can't judge Elliott based on last season. Elliott needs to have a fresh, clean slate for 2021. The offense will be on fire. So many Cowboys haters everywhere. Marco Silva dropping the super. He says, my brother will not show me up. He says, damn long time no talk. Lagged it. So take a lap. Haha. Much love. Kelsey is going to be number 1 scoring this year. Wow, Kelsey. Hey, Marco, just to let you know, you drop another $14.99, you get in on the Door League. The Door League, what's the Door League, you ask? What is the Door League? This is the Door League, bro. Let me show you what the Door League is. It's this right here. I write your name in permanent marker. I think I already got you guys maybe on here. It's the Silver Brothers, just because I wanted to throw you up there. I'm not sure if I wrote you up or not. No, I didn't. You're not on there yet. So you donate a $14.99 super later in the show, whatever. I'll throw you up on the Door League because you just dropped a $4.99. Actually, you and your brother, you drop a 10 spot. You and your brother can have one team together in the Door League. In the Door League, what do you get in the Door League? You ask. What do you get in the Door League? Try this. Just letting you know. Kamara or Zeke? I think Zeke Elliott. I'm going to end it here with Zeke. I think Zeke Elliott could finish as a top 3 or 4 running back in fantasy football in 2021. A lot of mileage, a lot of things I say about Henry, you could actually apply to Zeke Elliott and say, dang, you know, he's got a lot of mileage. I worry about this. Silver Brothers are up. DM me on Instagram right now, Marco. You guys are on the door. Silver Brothers as one team. As one team. Let's go right out on the board. Silver Brothers. Silva Brothers, right here. Silva Brothers. On the door. Captain Spock drops a 10 spot already on the door. When does the Door League start? How do we get in? DM me on Instagram, Spocky Boy. Silver Brothers on Instagram, DM me. Spocky Boy, I'll be looking for your DM. My Instagram is The Fantasy Football Show. Do it now. Do it now. Where were we at? Okay, I think I've proved my point enough on Zeke. I think Zeke's with Pollard a locked 4, 5, 6 running back for 2021. He says, screw the Silva brother. Oh, okay, yeah. Actually, Marco, that is Marco's super chat. Marco Silva. Yeah, that's Marco. Marco, DM me. If your brother wants in, Andrew's got to get his own team now. Unless you want to do one team together. If you do, then you're good. Andrew says, no. Andrew says, I want in. Andrew, that's not... You know what? You guys have given enough over the course of the year. Andrew is in too. You guys are both in. I'm going to put Silver Brothers and circle you, Andrew, and I'm going to write Andrew. I'm going to write it in black. Silver Brothers in red, and in black I'm going to write Andrew and Marco right underneath. Andrew and Marco. Guys, we don't have a lot of spots left in the Door League. If you want in, you might want to super chat that 20 now and get on the board, get on the door, and get in the draft. Okay, next question. We're in fantasy football court mode. Next question is, would you rather have Ridley, Clyde, Lamb, or Diggs, Gibson, Dobbins? Holy crap, we need a whole extra minute for this question. Okay, Rasta or Rasta boy, whatever the hell your name is. Ridley, Clyde, and Lamb. So Ridley, Clyde, and Lamb. Lamb and Clyde are third round, mid-third round. Ridley's like top of the second. Or Diggs, Gibson, Dobbins. Oh. As much as it's going to feel easy to say Gibson, Diggs, and Dobbins, which I think will probably be my answer, Lamb is going to make this really difficult to look back on and say, holy crap, this guy's a top 5 wide receiver. I'm going to say Diggs, Gibson, and Dobbins, though, bro. That's a really good treat. Like, you're talking about Diggs being a top 10 to 12 pick for me, Gibson being a top 13 to 15 pick for me, and Dobbins being 3.1 capable. You gotta go with Diggs, Gibson, and Dobbins. Final answer. Love it. Fantastic. Both of them rock, but give me that one. Easy call. In the end, it's an easy call. I had to break it down, but in the end, it's an easy call. I am on Smitty's Instagram page. DM me, bro. Just click the message. Let me see, Captain. Let's see, Captain. I'm pulling up my Instagram right now. I don't see your message. Hit message and type me. Tight ends with good upside, says Alex. Good question. Fant. Noah Fant. Tunyon. Bobby Boy Tunyon, especially with the Aaron Rodgers drama. No one's drafting him. He's like double-digit round tight end. Logan Thomas, Goddard. A lot of tight ends this year. People say that the tight end position is really bad. There's a lot of good options available. I'm still checking, bro. I don't see your DM. Who here wants the door league smoke? Bring it, says Webb. Webb is already on the door. He's ready to rumble in the door league. What's up, Kevin? I appreciate you being here, Kevin. Still don't see your DM, bro. Next question. McLaurin or Kupp? I'm going to say McLaurin by a long, long mile. I'm not saying Kupp can't do well. I'm not saying Kupp won't surprise me. Ask more questions, guys. I'm just saying McLaurin feels like a top 10 to 12 wide receiver, and Kupp feels like he's a wide receiver 2 in a good year. Like I'm not even expecting high-end wide receiver 2 numbers out of Kupp. I'm expecting at least low-end wide receiver numbers out of McLaurin. McLaurin, easy. Is LaShawn McCoy in the chat? Not the real LaShawn, but he's his own version, and he's growing on us. LaShawn McCoy is here. We like you, LaShawn. The positive LaShawn is now in the community. We like LaShawn's been bringing it good lately. Is Herbert at the 5.1 a reach? Yes. According to his ADP, that would be a little bit of a reach, bro. But that doesn't mean that he's not going to earn that and some. So I would say that if you're at 5.1, can you trade your 6th rounder into the late 5th? Then I would probably take him. I would also look at potentially taking Josh Allen in that 4th round, or with that if he was there in the 5.1. But Josh Allen in the 4th round. Kyler as well. Kyler would be a good pick here. I believe 5.1 is a little bit of a reach. You can often get Herbs in round 6. So if I was you, Alex, I would bet that Herbert falls to your round 6 pick more than I would take him at 5.1. You know what I'm saying? Did you just ask McLaurin or Kupp? He did. It's okay. Irv Smith, high upside. Wait, how do you define high, bro? Like a little bit? Sure. A lot? No. I mean, he's okay. Michael Carter, a sneaky steal? Absolutely. And so is Trey Sermon. So is Javonte Williams still. Because people laugh when you take him at 5.7. Give me Javonte all day long. Give me Michael Carter in the 6th round or 7th all day long too. And give me Trey Sermon in 8 or 9. Wonk wants to know Josh Allen and Diggs or Mahomes and Tyreek. I might surprise you right here and tell you Diggs and Josh Allen. I want Diggs and Josh Allen in at least half of my leagues if I can. That's one situation I'm willing to maybe put all my eggs in one basket, as I say not to do. Not really, half of them. You know, always say spread things around as best you can to weather through an injury taking out all your teams, or a bust, like let's say Allen busted or something, then you have half of your leagues go down. But Allen and Diggs feel like the safest duo in fantasy football, my favorite stack. They're going to be ultra efficient. The offense, in my opinion, is going to be number 1 in the league in terms of potency. And then on top of that, the consistency Diggs will bring you, and both of them will bring you, they'll probably have one bad game statistically. Like, they're that kind of duo. Consistent as can be. Give me Allen and Diggs. I love the duo. I love the duo. And I take Diggs higher than I take Hill. And I take Allen maybe a little after Mahomes, but only because that's where his ADP falls. That wasn't a surprise. We all know Smitty's love affair with Allen. Bro, I've been predicting Allen since he was a rookie to be what he is today. So if you think I'm going to jump off that train or not toot my own horn along the way, you got another thing coming. This courtroom, we support Allen. We support everything that's happened from his rise, and all the doubters out there that said he'd only run the football. He's not accurate. He can't do anything. Half my family's from Buffalo, bro. This is an Arizona Cardinal based operation. Okay, we're in Phoenix. But there's Buffalo in the blood, baby. There's Buffalo in the blood. Got offered Cam Akers and 2021 first for Nick Chubb, full PPR Dynasty League. I take Cam Akers over Nick Chubb. We're talking about Dynasty. Cam Akers is just getting started, and as much as I have doubts about him, his value's through the roof. I still draft him in round 2, the late round 2 comfortably, which he won't fall, so I'm not going to own him. But he's just getting going. Nick Chubb, his knee's on borrowed time. His knee's a ticking time bomb, kind of like the ticking you hear during fantasy football court. Chubb in Dynasty is a very dangerous proposition, bro. Elgin says, who's this year's Calvin Ridley? CeeDee Lamb. And some of you may not think that's bold, but guess what? Again, some of you are saying, no, it's not bold. Some of you DM me on the regular. I get like 1 or 2 DMs every other day where somebody goes, Smitty, Lamb's the number 3 option on his team. Why do you even like him? I hear that all the time. I know Lamb is being doubted to the tune that Calvin Ridley was last year. The answer is definitely CeeDee Lamb. Buffalo to Phoenix, one extreme to the other. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. They're far apart. Other half of the family, I have family all over, but majority of one side is from Buffalo. So we've got a pretty deep amount of Buffalo in the blood, B. Let's see, Spock, there's no option to message you on Instagram. Yes, there is. Click on the message button. Go to my profile, bro. There's a message button, Spock. And you'll see it. You can DM me on there. Or comment on one of my posts real quick, Spock. And then let me know what you did. Opinion on DJ Moore. I like DJ Moore, Alex, but at what cost? At what entry point are we talking? Are we talking top of round 4? No, I'm not taking DJ Moore as my top of the 4th player. No. Silva. Andrew's back. Andrew Silva's back. And he's dropping a super chat. Thank you, kind sir. Waller or Akers, 6th round non-PPR Dynasty League. Waller or Akers 6th round. Woo! Trade value alone, Akers has more dynasty keeper appeal than Waller. So can you trade this pick? Can you go get a guy you like a little bit better? Or if you like Akers, bro, don't listen to me and keep your man Akers. But Akers in the 6th round is more attractive to trade than Waller in the 6th round. I'll tell you that right now. So probably keeping Akers, bro. But I'm wheeling and dealing. My ear is like this. I'm listening for trade offers coming my way. And worst case scenario, you're way underpaying for him. Like, he's good there. Like, even if you can't get rid of him, that's good value. You could draft Waller back easier than you could draft Akers back. So even coming from a place of some question, at Akers' ADP at 10, that's different. Whole different ball game. I'm probably the biggest Cowboys fan here, and I love Cooper and Gallup, but CD is taking over the wide receiver 1 by years and certainly not number 3 behind Gallup, CD. I know, bro. It's weird. It's weird. The Cowboys' hatred is through the roof. Like, even if you're not biased about stuff, like people that play fantasy football that have a team that they love, they follow. They're a little bit of a homer on one team or another. They have this inclination to be like, the Cowboys suck. Like, the Cowboys are gonna be garbage. Like, the Cowboys are gonna score a lot of points, and the Cowboys are going to win 10 plus games in 2021. Keep in mind, you're adding an entire game to the schedule. Okay, so we're talking about a 9-win team last year, an 8-8 team, whatever. Like, if you're trying to equate what is a 10-win team now, a 10-win team today means different than a 10-win team last year. People need to keep in mind when I say 10 wins, what that really means. Okay. Not 9-8, but 10-7. Okay, 9-8's kind of the new 8-8. There's no more 500 records anymore. It's literally going to be, are they 9-8 or 10-7? You're telling me 10-7 upsets you that much? 7 losses for the Cowboys, and it has you through the roof, people. The Cowboys are going to win 9 or 10 games, and it's going to be because their offense is absolute fire. And their defense will get better because of the offensive efficiency. That tends to happen. They kind of feed each other. Will they be the best defense in the league? Absolutely not. Will they get scored on like crazy? Probably. But guess what? They can still outscore their opponents 10 games, and 7 they won't. The Cowboys are going to be on fire. How much better will Lawrence be than Herbert? I don't know that he will ever be better than Herbert. Herbert's my number 3 dynasty quarterback. Lawrence is not. So I'm going to say that Lawrence has the potential to be a top 3, 4, 5, maybe 1 someday. Like, he could be. I'm not going to rule out that Lawrence has the potential to be the number 1 quarterback, the next Peyton Manning. He could be. But I've got Herbert ahead of him in dynasty. Lawrence, for me, in dynasty, ranks around 5, 6, 7. Whereas Herbert's 3, 4. Him and Kyler kind of go back and forth. Lamb or Woods, Tannehill or Stafford, Clyde or Carson, James Conner or Moss. Oh, man, come on, bro. Lamb by a mile. And not that I don't like Woods, bro, but Lamb's on top 5 wide receiver track. That's the track he's on. Stafford, Tannehill, you could flip a coin on that one. Tannehill's done pretty well. He gets very disrespected. Stafford's moving teams. Going to have to build the rapport with a new receiving crew, learn a system, deal with a new coach. There's a lot of ups and downs that could be there for Stafford. Wouldn't shock me if Tannehill was outscoring him. Clyde Edwards-Helaire over Carson. I get the argument. I don't mind anybody if they have Carson ahead of him, but I'm going with Clydey boy. Clyde has top 5 to 10 running back potential despite his ADP dropping into the 3rd round. It's a gift. It's not a punishment. It's a gift. Clyde at 3.5 to 4.5 is a gift, and it helps you win your leagues. Take advantage of it. I'm taking him over Carson all day long. And James Conner, Moss, like, neither, bro. I mean, I like Moss a little bit, but can he stay healthy? Give me Moss. Give me Connor. Who cares, bro? You kick me in the nads. I kick you in the nads. This is like an even Steven random craziness type question here. Connor versus Moss. But I love the other parts of it. Good question overall. Where's Grant? Where is Grant? Oh, I just killed that question, bro. Let me see if Spock has sent the message yet. Oh my God, Spock. Spocky boy. Spock, Instagram, you go to my profile, you hit message. Where's Spock? I also sent you an email with my Dynasty team. If you could look at it. Are you a part of the Sleeper U, bro, with the email advice? If so, I'll look at it, Jay. Motion at the front door. Alexa, show me the front door. What we got going on here? We got phones ringing. We got phones ringing. We got people at the front door. No, we don't want any. Okay? No solicitors. You want to be on the show? Watch this. Take a lap. I remember when Smitty said Moss was going to be a league winner, says Noah. Noah, I like Moss. He can't stay healthy. I remember when Noah said he was going to be positive on the show, and we still haven't seen that. This must mean that, let's see, this is exactly what I'm warning about with a guy like Sermon. Well, you know what, Noah? We don't always land everything we do on the show, bro. And I still like Moss. He just can't stay healthy. I actually do like Moss a little bit more than I like Singletary. Unleash the dragon on the intros. I can unleash the dragon for you right now, bro.
Release the dragon. Release the dragon.
Where would you draft? Let's see here. Brandon says, what would be your draft approach? Players to target at 14 in a 14-man PPR league. Depends on your draft slot, Brandon. Like if you're drafting at 14, then Gibson's going to be a big target of mine at that turn pick for you if you're right at 14 and 15. Harris, I'd get one of those running backs there. I don't like Cam Akers, but you might. You could take Cam there. But one of those running backs, if all things are equal, is a pretty good thing to do in that type of league at 14. If you're drafting at 5 or 4 and you get Kamara, you could go Jefferson in round 3 if he's there, or take him as high as 2. DK and Jefferson would be great. Lamb in a 14-teamer might end up being your 3rd round pick. J.K. Dobbins would be fire in round 3. That's a very loaded question, Brandon. I need to know a whole lot more information. You said pick 7. So you could be looking at Diggs and Gibson, Diggs and Harris. You could be looking at J.K. or, you know, maybe Jefferson falls to you in the 3rd round. Like I said, probably highly unlikely. You could go, I definitely would look at Josh Allen in 4. I think that'd be fantastic for that draft slot. So take a look. But so much depends on who's available, bro. It's really, really hard to give you a blanket answer on that. But I appreciate the question. Hopefully that helped a little bit. And, you know, Brandon, I think you're a member of Sleeper U. If you're not, get my text service right here, heysmitty.com. You can order it in 3-month, 6-month, or 12-month blocks, and we'll hash it out. I got it going nuts right here. Let me check and see who's messaging me here right now. We've got Albert. Albert's wanting to know who are the best running backs for the 5th round or later. So I'll get into that. I got a message right here from Albert. I got one from Mark. I got one from Abe, and they come in all day long. It's a fantastic service. I carry this phone with me at all times. This is my personal phone. This is my work phone. I carry it with me. You guys text me all day long from heysmitty.com, and it's probably the best service you've ever seen in your life because it's you and me talking football. What's better than that? Noah says Bucks in 7. Try Suns in 4 or 5. Maybe 6. Jay says redraft 10-team league. Who am I targeting in the first at pick 5? 10-team redraft at pick 5. I mean, if Kamara is there, you take Kamara. You got to kind of go running back, I think, at that point. Whether it's Elliott. Elliott would be a good pick there. Kamara would be good if he fell. And then, in that second round, bro, you probably, your best player, if Gibson's not there, is going to be a wide receiver. There are very few running backs, I think, that fall there that I like a lot. I like a wide receiver. If you go Elliott and DK or Elliott and whoever, Ridley, and you can get Jefferson in round 3 or J.K. Dobbins in round 3, Clyde Edwards-Helaire in round 3. Some of my go-tos, but I need to know what's going on, the flow of the draft. I can't give you a blanket, answer on something like that, but Zeke's not a bad option right there. Jay says, whoever doesn't pay for sleeperu.com is missing out. Jay's a smart man. Jay's a smart man! Voice of Reason says Dobbins, Gallup, or Judy Sermon in Dynasty. Bro, that's a tough one because I love Sermon and Judy, but you got to go Dobbins with the overall value that he brings to the table. You got to go Dobbins. Anyone else have Josh Jacobs in the playoffs last year when he kneeled at the 1-yard line? Josh Jacobs is a disaster, bro. Did anybody have Josh Jacobs last year when he tried to fight people and fans and said, come to the stadium, here's the address, come fight me? I'm not playing, by the way. And then he plays to screw with everybody, then flips you off. Like, you trust Josh Jacobs? Give me a break. Not you, Mo. I'm saying anybody that trusts him. Is it crazy to take Tyreek in the top 5? Probably, bro. He's not even my number 1 wide receiver. I like him. He could be the number 1 wide receiver, but I like Diggs. I like Diggs as the number 1 guy. I quietly like Jefferson more. If I'm at 5, I'm taking Elliott and I'll take Jefferson later versus taking Hill and then forcing running back. Now, you could get lucky if you got Hill at 5 and Gibson fell. Hill and Gibson would be a fantastic start and you won't have missed a beat. But what happens if you don't get the running back you want? At 3.1, would you go MT or Keenan Allen? At 3.1, I would probably go Keenan Allen to be safe. I like MT a little bit later. I feel like they have similar ADP in my mind. I'd probably rank them really, really close to the same. But Keenan feels safer, and Keenan's going to have a big year. I think Herbert's going to feed him a ton. If I've got Herbert in the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks, that means if he stays healthy, that's the reason you doubt him a little bit. If he stays healthy, Keenan Allen should be on fire. Who are my top 5 wide receivers? I mean, this is a tough one. I've got Diggs here. If A-Rod's gone, that changes. But Adams and Hill, they're still right here. And then from like 4 down, bro, from 4 down, you have a plethora of guys that could be here or at 8. So 4 and 8, it's literally like a mishmash of like just preference. Whether it's DK, Ridley, whether it's Justin Jefferson, whether it's AJ Brown. There's so many wide receivers. There's more than that rank out about from 4 to 8, 4 to 9. That make me feel like, you could just put them in a blender and it wouldn't shock me, the result. Now, do I have a preference? Yes. That's why I have Diggs here. I can understand anybody wanting Adams or Hill, number 1. But, like, in the end, who do I want to own? Like, I'm drafting him later than this, but I want Jefferson on almost every team I have. I love DK. I love Ridley. These are all very, very close guys for me right here. And then AJ Brown getting Julio sucks a little bit, but at the same time it might quietly help him because he could have been staring double teams in the face all year long. And we have time for one more question. JK owners already drafted him knowing that about Lamar. Oh, Webb's answering somebody's question. Okay, last question. Voice of reason. Will ETN be the next Alvin Kamara? I don't know. I think Urban Meyer's throwing a wrench into this situation. We don't know if he's truly going to utilize him as a wide receiver more so than a running back, or is he going to use him like Kamara and Gibson and kind of have like a Swiss Army knife type player? If he's used like Antonio Gibson, I think he could be fire. I mean, he has top 5 running back potential, but we don't know if Urban Meyer is truly going to stick to his word and only use him as a wide receiver. If he does, that limits his upside a ton. So I don't know if I'm ready to answer this question yet. I think he could be. He could be the next Alvin Kamara, but there's certainly as much risk as there is upside at this point because we don't know what Urban Meyer is going to do to his value. Because if he's only catching passes and he doesn't run a lot and they run James Robinson majority of the time, then ETN loses a lot of upside and potential, potential opportunity to score the football, carries, yardage, touchdowns, if he's only used at wide receiver. Now, he is one of the best receiving assets in the entire 2021 NFL draft. You take off Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, and, Kyle Pitts, and, it might be ETN is the next best pass catcher in the draft, in the entire 2021 rookie draft pool. I like ETN that much from a receiving standpoint. I just want him to get a lot of carries. I want him to get Alvin Kamara workload. I want him to get 800, 900 yards rushing, or at least like 500 to 700 rushing. If he can get 500, 600, 700 yards on the ground, 800, 900 yards in the air, maybe eventually 1,000 yards in the air, and 10 total touchdowns, he becomes a mini Alvin Kamara. But I don't know if we're waiting a whole year for them to remove Urban Meyer, or will Urban Meyer be successful and then we get this kind of player right away. I'm indifferent on it right now. I'm kind of not sure how to digest what Urban Meyer is going to do to his value. But I do like ETN a lot. I just like Javonte Williams more right now. I'd rather have Javonte Williams than ETN. I think Javonte Williams could quietly be the number 1 rookie running back when all is said and done, and we're standing in week 18 and we're looking back and we see Javonte Williams sitting right there at the top as the secret weapon, sleeping giant. Even though he's going in the 5th or 6th round on occasion in redraft, he's still a sleeping giant in that value because he could go to the moon. Join me every Tuesday and Thursday here on the channel. Please hit the thumbs up on your way out the door, and know that when the video ends, ask a question in the comments, which will be zeroed out. The live chat, you can see all the comments, but the actual comments in the video will start at 0. That's your chance to ask me a question. Ask me in the comments. I answer all my early questions the first day, and we can get to some fantasy football content if you didn't get your question answered during the live stream. Join me every Tuesday and Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern to 7 p.m. right here on the channel, and getmyheysmitty.com. You can order text device, one-on-one, on-demand text service. You can buy 3 months, 6 months, 12 months in advance. Go there and check it out. And I will see you on the next show. Also, go to smitty1.com right here and play Underdog Fantasy, will you? Okay, Underdog Fantasy, only the best way to play daily fantasy. And I've got you're going to win a free phone call from me, a 15-minute draft call, if you go to smitty1.com right now, okay? And you click on the Underdog Fantasy banner. Let me go ahead and take a screenshot of this bad boy so I can show you exactly where to click. So go to smitty1.com, click on the Underdog Fantasy banner, which I'm going to show you in 1 second once I can grab this screenshot and toss it on to the screen here. And you're going to win a free phone call from yours truly, Smitty, by just sending me a receipt of your deposit. But go make a deposit at Underdog. It's going to be right here. Right here. There we go. God, my computer's freaking out. Go to smitty1.com, and to the left, where it says Underdog Fantasy with the dog, click on that. Make a $10 deposit. That's all you got to do. Make a $10 deposit. Screenshot it that you did it. Send it to me. Not only will you get up to $25 bonus cash from Underdog, matching your deposit up to $25. They'll match your deposit bonus cash. You will get a free phone call from me. So go to Underdog Fantasy. You've got to click on this link right here on smitty1.com. You've got to use promo code Smitty. If you go and do this and don't use promo code Smitty, you're not going to get it. So go to smitty1.com. The link will actually insert promo code Smitty for you. Okay? So smitty1.com. Click on the Underdog banner. Deposit 10. Free phone call from me. And not to mention, it's one of the best ways to play daily fantasy, if you know what I'm saying. All right. Peace out, everybody. I appreciate you. HeySmitty.com. See you Thursday.